Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Freedom Friday show on Pow Pow Radio.
Kapow Radio Show. And today,
It's Pow Pow.
No, it's Kapow Radio Show.
Now, see, you have a memory, apparently, that it was called Kapow,
Yes.
but it's Pow Pow.
No.
Look at CERN has changed everything. It's the Mandela effect. My King James version is now the Rick James version of the Bible, and the show is called Pow Pow. And you have some kind of distant memory of it being what?
Kapow. Kapow Radio Show.
That's weird.
You're weird.
You probably think it's Mirror Mirror on the Wall too.
Yes.
It's Magic Mirror.
I know.
It's always been Magic Mirror.
No,
it's always been Oscar Mayer.
Nope.
This is the Pow Pow Radio. Okay. Anyway,
You're living in a fantasy.
Pow Pow Radio. My name is Jerry, and my co-host is Elaine.
No way.
It's the Mandela effect. The CERN has fried my brain. All right, Miss Kapow.
Today's Freedom Friday, and today is the 24th of June, 2016.
All right, this is the Great Demonic Takeover because, well, it is the Great Demonic Takeover.
Yep.
Man, I was joking around about the Mandela effect, and boy, but I tell you what, there's some crazy stuff out there.
It is crazy.
It is, and then the flat earther people are kind of getting into that. Boy, and they really get upset.
This world is crazy.
They really get upset if you you're like a earth baller.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wow, it's just weird. It's just weird. You know, I mean,
crazy flapjacks.
it's crazy flapjacks. All I know is Jesus Christ and Him crucified for me.
Amen.
Okay, you have a scripture. I know you do.
I do. I'm going to read from Malachi 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither hot root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet, in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded him unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Then I want to go to Zechariah 14:12, and it says, And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Ooh, wow. Now, what version of the Bible are you reading?
King James.
Okay, well, see, it's been altered.
Nope.
History's been altered.
Not mine.
Mine says the Rick James Bible. Super freak.
Super freak.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we have one story here.
Yes.
This story.
Yes, this is from back there in the UK somewhere.
The UK.
The UK. And this is from The Guardian. It says, drag is great, but this is beyond drag. And this article takes you inside Miss Vera's cross-dressing school.
Apparently, this fairy godmother of cross-dressers started this in 1992.
And she helps men ease into transitioning or to embrace living in both worlds using makeovers, lessons, and tea time.
1992.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. She's considered the fairy godmother of cross-dressers. she's a pioneer, they say, in the cross-dressing and transgender movement. And she's an expert.
Yeah, I would say.
She opened this academy, which she ran out of her apartment in 1992. She's written 2 books of advice for cross-dressing. She has a 3rd book, Cross-Gender Fun for All, that's due out this month.
Wow.
Man, she's doing a good work, huh?
Mm.
Well, when a new student enters her academy, Vera whisks them through the steps a new student would take. They would change into lingerie. No, this is a man.
Now, I was just going to say, now mind you, this is a man.
A man, yeah. So they would change into lingerie, and then they'd walk out to the makeup area where a professional makeup artist would work their magic. The student would then be fitted for a wig, dressed in an outfit of his choice, along with a pair of high heels.
Woo, woo, woo.
Depending on which curriculum they choose, the student, now dressed as a woman, would take classes with the dean of high heels, a former ballerina, who teaches elegance and feminine walking skills. Or they would take classes with the dean of voice, a professional speech therapist, who would help the students speak like a woman.
Well, this must cost a pretty penny, I'll tell you that.
She says it's not inexpensive. It's not inexpensive. Now, when the student felt ready, they would go out on the town with Miss Vera and another dean, having tea at the plaza, going shopping for new outfits, eating at a restaurant, or simply taking a walk in their new feminine persona. She says, "It is an amazing thrill, and it is very empowering to be out and let the world see you," Vera explains. Oh, yeah. And they come to her, Miss Kapow, from every age, religion, and ethnicity. Because the school is not inexpensive. The students tend to be white-collar professionals. Her youngest student was 18. Her oldest was, well, an 88-year-old dude.
Wow.
Yeah. They've come from as far away as Brazil, Australia, as well as all over the U.S. Man. So the time students spend with Vera, they can have a profound impact on their day-to-day lives. She recalls one student who was a business executive who worked for a large corporation in the Midwest. After his transformation, Vera and the deans took him to the tea at Plaza. He wrote to Vera a little while after going back home to tell her that he is no longer nervous going into board meetings. After being at high tea in full drag, he told her, nothing scares him anymore.
Good for him.
Yes. Yes. So anyway, at this school, she has seen more men who choose to transition to become female. But many of her students are still... There's still those that, as she put it, live in both worlds. They don't actually want to come out. They just like dressing like women. Many of the men are married, and while in the past they used to often hide their cross-dressing from their wives, Vera has seen more men come to the school at the urging of their wives in recent years.
Really?
Probably to get them out of the house. Maybe to get them out of their closet. I like wearing your hats.
No, you don't.
They don't fit because your head's too big. And the hats would be too loose on me.
That was coming.
They would come on my eyes. So anyway, there's a school, and they do that. They do that. So is that amazing? And then she talks about the transgender stuff and what she's seen. Of course, she sees the genders going to binary, rather male and female, things like that. It's pretty amazing, that this exists, and men will pay good money to learn how
to be a woman.
To be a woman.
Wow,
quite crazy. Yes. I would say that was a great demonic takeover.
I think
it really is. It really is.
I think so.
Have you heard of this scary movie called The Conjuring 2?
I have heard of it. I've heard of the first one too.
Yeah.
But we did not see them.
No, I don't even know. What's it about? They conjure something?
Ghosts,
demons. Is
yeah.
Is it like an exorcist?
You know what? I have no idea.
Huh.
I know that there's a lot of spiritual stuff going on in the movie. Occultic stuff.
Sounds like it'd
Ghosts
be cheesy.
And, yeah.
Well, The Conjuring 2, this was, where was this at? This was in India, I believe. This dude, he's in his 60s. He's watching the movie, and he dies.
Yeah, he has a heart attack or something.
Yeah. And then his body goes missing.
Now that, I think, is odd.
Yeah. And I haven't seen a follow-up story on this.
Mm-mm.
But he was 65 years old. He died in the cinema last week while watching a screening of the horror movie The Conjuring 2. It was, and I'm not going to even pronounce this town, but it's in India. And he had complained of chest pains during the film's climax, and then he fainted shortly afterwards.
Mm-mm.
Can you imagine that? It's almost like he got so scared, so jacked up, his heart gave out.
I know.
That's a bad way to go.
Yeah.
Because you're in that theater anyway. You're watching that movie. That stuff's coming into you and at you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Scary.
Then you wake up in your own eternal horror.
That's nasty.
I mean, a film that won't end.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. They rushed him to a nearby old government hospital where doctors pronounced him dead, and then medics ordered his body to be sent to somewhere else, a college hospital, for post-mortem. But according to the Times of India, the cadaver and the person charged with transporting it have both gone missing.
See, now, I find that very odd.
Well, maybe CERN changed the road.
Perhaps.
And so then the guy's going this way, but the road used to be that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore. Because
so he's driving an infinity.
The time... Unaffinity or inaffinity?
Infinity.
See?
Infinity.
Because the timeline we exist now is... Oh, yeah. Okay. So anyway, isn't that weird? So
that is weird. That's very strange.
Of course, there's other stuff they say that a woman got possessed while watching The Conjuring 2. And
that could very well happen too.
Yeah. That video has been looked at 5 million times, but other people say no, that was an old video of 2013, and something like that. So, and then some guys saying they saw the movie, they went back in the hotel room and some cross magically appeared on the window, and so they're doing all this stuff. But I think the guy really dying in the theater is legit.
Yeah,
he really.
And then his body missing.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's creepy. This is a great demonic takeover, and this is so annoying.
This is disgusting.
I was hoping that this story was not true. I snooped it. I Snoop Dogged it. And I was hoping this was a hoax
but it's not.
Or exaggerated, but it's not.
Mm-mm.
In fact, Snoops.com does confirm that a sexual assault did happen. They don't know if they were Syrian refugees, but they were Middle Eastern boys. And they don't know if a knife was involved. But basically, they confirmed it.
Yeah, we're talking about this story about 3 Syrian refugees that raped a little girl at knife point.
In Idaho, United States of America. Idaho.
Yeah.
Idaho.
Our hometown.
3 Syrian refugees rape that little girl was mentally challenged too.
Yeah.
She was a special needs kid. Apparently this is pretty bad. The first story says that 3 Syrian refugees reportedly raped a little girl at knife point in Idaho before urinating on her body.
See, that's disgusting.
They're disgusting, demonic people because they belong to a disgusting, demonic religion.
Yep.
And they serve the moon god, and they're full of demons. You and I have seen those videos when they're praying at the Cabal and they're just getting demon possessed. Well, they pass it on to their little Muslim mutts. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah. Oh.
And we got a government who's opening the border, just allowing them in. Mm-hmm. Just allow these refugees in Idaho. I don't know what I'd do if we had a big surge of refugees in this little town that started raising hell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good God.
Yeah, I know. I hope we don't have to find out.
They urinated on her body. The incident prompted furious residents to accuse Twin Falls City Council members of covering up the assault.
See, a lot of that's happening, too, where these crimes are being covered up by the government.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing is, because they're underage, we can't give a bunch of information.
You know my point? Okay, if a child can commit an adult crime, then he should be charged as an adult.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. These are sick. These are sick kids.
Yeah.
These are sick in the head.
Yeah.
These aren't normal kids. They're not right in the head. There's something really drastically wrong to do that. The sexual assault allegedly took place on June 2nd, but it's received virtually no media attention aside from one vague KMVT report. It's not on the mainstream news.
See, they want to keep it secret.
They do.
You know what I mean?
They do. However, residents have been circulating what really happened on social media with the Creeping Sahara blog reporting that the victim was a young girl who was born premature and is less developed for her age. So she's special needs. The perpetrators were 3 Syrian youths aged, check this out, 8, 10, and 13.
See?
8 years old?
Yep.
With the oldest boy directing the assault. The little girl was playing outside Fawnbrook apartment buildings when the boys put a knife to her throat, forced her inside a laundry unit. She was stripped naked, raped, and urinated on. The 13-year-old reportedly told the younger boys to urinate on her because they were incapable of ejaculating.
Sounds more like a ritual kind of a thing.
Sure. Now, who would make a story up like that?
Yeah, exactly. Disgusting.
The victim's grandmother found the victim and then called the girl's mother, who called the police. The police took 2.5 hours to arrive, but were unable to take any action due to the language barrier.
What?
Twin Falls, Idaho? It's time to get a new police department.
Yeah.
It's time to get rid of those clowns. 2 hours for a child rape?
2.5 hours, yeah. And they're not doing anything about it.
You got to be kidding me. That's why I thought this story wasn't true. Mm-hmm. It's so, what do you call it? Incendiary. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's no way. Someone's writing this just to jack people up. Ah! When she arrived, the mother of the alleged rapist was only able to say, no police. While the father reportedly, check this out, congratulated his 13-year-old son.
Wow.
Video of the entire assault was captured on the boy's cell phone.
See? So they have all the evidence they need.
Wow. So this refugee mother was saying no police, and then the father's congratulating his 13-year-old son. A follow-up report revealed that the case has officially been sealed by a judge with no chance of it ever being unsealed since all parties involved are minors.
That's just wrong.
A video of a Twin Falls council meeting shows irate residents demanding to know why council members have done nothing to address the alleged rape, as well as numerous other issues involving Syrian refugees being housed in the area, including hit-and-run incidents and Muslims spitting on non-Muslims. Folks, there's a certain point you have to defend yourself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't live like that. Around 50 Syrian refugees are reportedly housed at the Fawnbrook site. Maybe that's why the cops took 2.5 hours to get there, because they're scared. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as they get out of their car, they're going to get in trouble for being racist or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how it is?
Yeah.
Council members were also grilled as to how a mosque was approved after just 24 hours, whereas a new home application would take at least 2 weeks to process. In every instance, the council members claim ignorance as to the severity of the situation, with one even suggesting the residents' concerns are based on anti-Muslim prejudice and even white supremacism. Are you kidding me? How about this little girl who was sexually assaulted? Oh my Lord! That's a fact that she was. I mean, yeah, it's a fact.
Yes,
that's what happened. And you're saying you guys are racist. You guys are white supremacist.
It's time to get rid of this.
It's time to get rid of that police department and the city council and just clean house. You do that. You do that with your votes. There's a follow-up story to that. I just saw today that the Idaho town is torn by alleged rape, fear of refugees. Mm-mm. Yeah. It says the sexual assault on a 5-year-old special needs girl has put a small Idaho city at the center of the debate over the Obama administration's move to take in hundreds of thousands of refugees. That idiot's trying to destroy this. Well, not trying. He has.
What
a clown. Oh, man. I just dislike that.
He has.
Man,
I mean, if these people, these city council people, are not doing anything about this rape, and they're afraid, then we are held captive.
Yeah.
By these people.
Yeah. My Lord.
If you're afraid to stand up for what's right.
Wow. It says much of what occurred was clouded by emotion and rumor, and it was sealed from public record due to the ages. But at a raucous public meeting Monday, dozens of residents of the city of 44,000 voiced their concerns after word had spread that young Syrian refugees had gang raped a little girl at knife point, defiling her in unspeakable ways.
But see, at least some of the town folk are out there trying to, get some answers, get something done here.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a prosecutor there in Twin Falls County, and says we're at the very early stages, but we're investigating this. So anyway, man. Who knows? And then they seal the record so you don't really get the truth. But there's a little girl there.
Mm-hmm. See, that's not right.
No.
That is not right.
That's
even the Bible speaks of stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't. And even if you go, well, they're not Syrian. They're I don't care what they are, but they're speaking Farsi. You know what I mean? They're from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But they're 8, 10, and 14. And the father didn't congratulate, but they still did what they did something to that little girl.
Exactly.
Oh, God, that's annoying. Oh, that makes my blood boil.
Yes, Jerry.
Okay, let's go to France. You want to go to France?
Okay.
Okay, there's a French woman who left her baby. She's wee. Do you know France has moved? The whole timeline. It's no longer where it should be. It's down in the bottom of the...
Is it really? It's moved.
Apparently.
The water.
No, it's CERN.
It's an island now.
It's the Mandela. It's the Mandela banana effect. French woman who left baby to drown blames who?
Witchcraft.
A French woman who left her baby daughter to drown on a beach said Monday she had no other explanation but witchcraft. This is terrible. Her last name is Gabou.
First name is Fabienne.
Gabou. She's 39. She went on trial for the murder of a 15-month-old child. It shocked the country. This was in 2013, by the way.
That's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. The French woman of, I don't know how to pronounce this, Senegalese origin.
Sounds good.
Described her well-off childhood in Dakar before she moved to Paris to study philosophy and architecture. She fell in love with a sculptor 30 years her senior, Michael Lafon. I bet you anything he's the warlock. Mm-hmm. Because then this Michael guy impregnated her. He didn't want anything to do with the kid. And it looks like they broke up. And so she was all sad. So she moved to this town because it sounded sad to her. So she's all sad and depressed, right? So she traveled with her daughter from Paris to a northern resort town of, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Bruxelles or something. I guess it means sad or something. And she inquired about the local tides before heading to the beach. She said goodbye to her sleeping daughter, placed her near the water on a wintry night, and left, and the kid drowned. The little body was discovered the next morning by fishermen. And here's what she says. Witchcraft. That is my default explanation because I have no other. That's what she told the court. She had spent some 40,000 euros, about 45 grand in U.S. currency, consulting various witch doctors and healers before carrying out the murder.
Wow.
I think she's really messed up.
Yeah.
I think it's a great demonic takeover.
Yep.
And then she says, nothing makes sense in this story. What interest could I have in tormenting myself, lying, killing my daughter? I spoke of sorcery, and I'm not joking. Even a stupid person would not do what I did. I had hallucinations.
Oh, my.
Now, her attorney says for many years, this is what she told her attorney. She says, for many years, I struggled to wake up in the morning. My feet were paralyzed. I had hallucinations, like the walls which didn't stop trembling. Man. From the start, she has made little effort to hide or deny her crime. Video surveillance allowed police to track her down like 10 days afterwards. She was described as a well-to-do Catholic with a remarkable intelligence. A court-appointed psychiatrist found that her psychological status is largely influenced by cultural references and an individual history linked to Senegalese witchcraft that radically altered her view of the world.
Yeah, and they're very, very evil.
What's the deal on that type of witchcraft?
Well, they're from what I read, they're from West Africa. And these witches, they see into the spiritual world. They travel around at night, and they can assume the shape of an animal. They also eat the flesh of their soul. They eat the flesh of their victim's soul, and they inhabit their dream world. So a lot of the crimes that they commit are in the dream state.
I wonder if she was actually part of a coven or witchcraft or how she got involved in that. But, I mean, I tend to believe her on this. Of course, the prosecutor says, she's a very intelligent woman, and so she's trying to make herself crazy or insane to the experts. So, she's saying sorcery, so she won't. But she's serving, she got sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at least they do something about it.
Yeah.
A lot of crime.
So anyway, I don't know. I mean, it almost sounds like she's legit.
I think so.
Legit. She says the 2 years before the murder of my daughter were the worst of my life. The 2 years in prison have been calmer and more peaceful. I mean, that's weird statements to make. So she got involved in this weird type of witch. Well, it's all weird, but it sounds like it's very powerful magic. Mm-hmm. Crazy. The Great Demonic Takeover. Great Demonic Takeover.
There you have it.
On Pow Pow Radio. How about Men in Black? We did a show on this not too long ago on the Men in Black. Because the guy died. The guy who discovered him or first saw him, he died.
Yeah.
Recently. Well, they're back.
Or did he?
Mm-hmm, I don't know. Depends on what timeline you're on.
Exactly.
The Mandela effect. Mm-hmm. Mandela banana effect. I'm sorry. I just love making fun of that stuff. It's amazing. I'm like addicted to it. Well, when my Bible says Rick James, I'm thinking, no way. Mm-mm. No way.
It's got a lot of bling bling on it.
It does. It didn't have that before.
No.
Didn't have that before. Mysterious Men in Black sightings are reported along Muscatine County roadways. What? Are you serious? You know where this is at?
No.
Iowa. Muscatine County, Iowa. A guy named R.J. Strong, he's from Port Louisa, Iowa. He was spooked pretty bad what he saw about a week ago, June 13th at
2 a.m. And we know that's a very witching hour.
The altars are open at 2 a.m. Yeah, 12 to 2 a.m. Very bewitching. Strong.
Actually, 12 to 4 a.m.
Oh, is it 12 to 4? Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. Yeah, 2 is like right in the middle. Strong, this guy Strong, posted on Facebook afterward that he was traveling near Ogilvie and F Avenues in Muscatine County. And then he saw what he says, some weirdo walking down the paved road in a black trench coat. Mm-hmm. What? 2 o'clock in the morning. Several others on social media have reported similar sightings in recent weeks. According to the reports, Ms. Kapow, the individuals have been standing beside roadways, sometimes stepping into roadways, as motorists are passing at locations across the county. This is in southeastern Iowa. My son has experienced this, and it's no joke, posted Strong. It was really a frightening experience to him. It's happened to a few friends of mine out on Highway 22, said somebody else. Now, the sheriff, the Muscatine County Sheriff, has taken notice. And they posted Monday on their Facebook page, we have had several reports of men dressed in black entering the roadway in rural Muscatine County. Several people told TV station there, that these same individuals have been spotted walking across homeowners' yards. Although the sheriff office Facebook post does not mention sightings on private property. The sheriff is now asking anyone who encounters the individuals to call 911. And, of course, people think, this is a joke or harmless pranksters or whatever. But the sheriff says, we take this seriously and we are investigating this. Very odd. There's a lot of people who like to clown around and joke around and stuff like that. But, 2 o'clock in the morning, you're walking in front of cars and stuff. Good way to get killed.
Yeah.
Crazy. How about your buddy Obama? What's he up to?
No good, that's for sure.
I miss Obama. Everybody, the news, you're just talking about Trump and Hillary. I'm going, what about Obama? Obama's still around. You know what's funny? I heard people call him Obama. I'm like, Obama? Look at his name is Bama. So they're in the wrong timeline. His name has been changed to Bama. Bam Bam Bama. That's his name. Bam Bam Bama. And he changed history through CERN to become the greatest president ever. He's the best. And he has little ears in the new timeline. He don't have those big flappy ears. You know what Obama administration did? They forced California churches to pay for abortions.
Wow.
And you're going to ask me, how did they do that? Well, let me explain how they did that.
Please explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Churches in Cuckoo, California are officially subject to an onerous state regulation that requires them to pay for abortions, thanks to a ruling by the Obama administration.
Yay!
California is just crazy anyway. Super liberal, super nuts. They take like something like the Obamacare, and if the Obamacare is say it's 50% octane, they'll go ahead and add another 60% to it.
Oh, sure.
Just to
to
overdo it. Oh my gosh, what a crazy state!
I hate that state now.
Me too.
And it's so sad because I was born there.
I'm born and raised California.
It's just so corrupt, so crazy,
so liberal.
It's not
socialist.
Anything that I remember it.
No, it's changed a lot since when we were growing up there. The troubling situation began in 2014 when the California Department of Managed Health Care reclassified abortion as a basic health service. I remember this because when we had to get insurance, part of our insurance plan had to include abortions. Yeah. It also had to include
teeth, children's
dental.
Dental, yeah.
For children, dentals, and it covered maternity stuff, everything that
contraceptive,
everything that Miss Kapow and I don't have or need or would ever use, everything, and yet I had to pay for all this nonsense, and you couldn't get a plan that didn't have it on it because it had the 10 basic things you had to have.
Yep,
and 9 out of the 10 I didn't need.
That's right.
It was really, really annoying. So I do remember this. And so abortion was a basic health service that if you have insurance in California, you have to pay for it. Under the Obama Health Care Act. They call it Affordable Care Act. That always cracks me up. He ordered all insurance plans on the state to begin covering surgical abortions immediately. Even churches are not exempt from funding abortions, right? So here's the problem. There's churches, a lot of churches in California, especially Southern California. Calvary Chapel's a mega there. The Calvary Chapel of Chino, I don't know if that's Raul Reese's church or not. I forget, but I get confused. They all sound alike to me, but they're one of the ones on this lawsuit, and a couple other churches. These big churches, they have insurance to cover their staff and their pastors and their employees and all this stuff. Now they're forced to pay all this stuff. So they wanted to get out of it as conscientious objectors. And there's apparently a federal law called the Weldon Amendment that allows that to happen. Okay. So these churches filed a lawsuit against the regulation last October, and now it's been moving through the courts. And they asked the Obama administration to uphold what they call the Weldon Amendment. It's federal law that protects conscious rights. But today, as of this writing, the HHS Office of Civil Rights released the results of its investigation into the California abortion mandate, and they stated it found no violation, and now it's just closing the investigation of the complaints without further action.
Wow.
That's it. So what they're saying now, their attorneys are saying that this decision is based on flawed reading of the Weldon Amendment. It gets a little confusing, but they argue that the Weldon Amendment only protects health insurance plans and not the purchasers of such plans. Which, isn't that something?
Sneaky. Yeah.
You know, that's like having car insurance. It only protects the car, but not the driver or the owner of the car, you know. So that's why my car refuses to leave, right? And state that the insurance companies have not complained. Insurance companies don't complain. Well, why would they?
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
Maybe they have another thing that's mandated. To say that a previously existing plan that excluded abortion must be discontinued is discriminatory against the life-affirming abortion-free plan. Whether the insurance company objects or not, the mandate is discriminatory. And that's what happened to us. We had a certain plan, but then when Obamacare kicked in, number one, our insurance tripled. And then, Affordable Care Act, it tripled. And then we lost our plan because it didn't meet the mandates.
Yep.
And so we had to have prenatal care. We had to have maternity. We had to have abortions. We had to have dental for children.
For children. Yep.
Which we had none of that stuff. Yep. And I was like, oh my Lord. Furthermore, OCR states that the insurance companies do not hold a religious or moral objection to covering abortion. So they ruled that it didn't apply. So now these pro-life leaders in Congress are furious with the Obama administration. Here's what they say. Nearly 2 years after California imposed its draconian mandate that requires all insurance companies to pay for abortion, the Obama administration has reached a new low, reinterpreting the Weldon Amendment to allow the mandate to continue. Yes.
Wow.
This means, now this is an important statement, this means that Californians, including churches, will continue to be forced to pay for elective abortions in their insurance plans.
There you have it.
Yeah. Yep. So, thank you, Mr. Bama. That's his real name, Bama Bam Bam Bama. In our
Bam
in our timeline, it's Bam Bam
Bam
Bama.
Bam.
Ms. Kapow, we're ending early. We're only like 37 minutes in the show, but that's all the stories I have this week.
All righty.
That's the select. I hand selected those stories to talk about, and I guess we kind of blew through them pretty quick.
Well, we can start our weekend early.
Well, we're going to do that. And then Monday we're going to continue with our.
Oh yeah, we have a good study.
Yes, we're going to continue with our globalist study, our social masonry. This will be part 3. This is going to be good because we're going to talk about the Georgia Guidestones, or the American Stonehenge.
Yes.
This is fascinating. And with that will be a couple of other documents like the, what was that? The report, 2000 report on depopulation. And then we're going to also talk about that beautiful, beautiful founding father. You know, this is a Christian nation. Our founding fathers, one of them was Thomas Paine. Oh. It's a Christian nation. Thomas Paine wrote a book.
It's evil, man. Yeah,
he wrote a book, The Age of Reason. And we're going to do some quotes from him. And you're going to see what a God-hater this son of a snail was.
Son of a serpent.
Son of a serpent. And he was brought over by another founding father, Benjamin Franklin.
Another son of a serpent.
Yeah, belonged to the Hellfire Club. You know, it's a Christian nation. It's Christian values. And the reason why we're going to read about Thomas Paine and some of these quotes from this book is because the Georgia Guidestones are directly related to The Age of Reason.
Yep.
Thomas Paine's book. And so you're going to be
all interconnected, though. I mean,
they are.
everything that we're going to be covering in the next couple of weeks, they're all linked somehow.
Mm-hmm.
They all have the same message because they're from the same author.
Yeah, they all come from Satan. And it's amazing because you go back 100 years, 200 years, like Thomas Paine, you're going back, 1776, and you could see that his writings, he even wrote one pamphlet or a book where he was endorsing basically, what do you call, the pay, just slipped my mind, general pay, I forgot. See? Mandela effect. Well, it used to be called something, and now my memory's gone. You know what I mean? Minimum wage. Minimum wage. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, he even proposed minimum wage back then, a certain thing. So, these people have been thinking stuff for a long time. But it's amazing. His Age of Reason, God, he just hates God. I mean, the whole book is about destroying Christianity.
Yep. And that's values. Exactly what they've been wanting to do since Eden.
Yeah. Do you know that Thomas Paine, the founding father, one of the founding fathers of America, do you know when he died, 6 people attended his funeral? He was so he died in the 70s, like 72 years old in Greenwich, New York. He alienated so many people with his anti-Christianity stuff. And back then, people had morals still, and he was, he just tried to destroy the Word of God. He thought the Bible was senseless fables, and he was horrible. Only 6 people attended his funeral. Some of them were actually the pallbearers or the funeral people.
So they had to be
there. There was some Quaker who actually went to go bury him, do the cart out of the goodness of his heart type of thing. But only 6 people. Yeah, he was fighting with George Washington, and he was a real pill.
He was.
Pain in the ass.
I remember
they don't teach you that
in school, and it was like, ugh.
Yeah, Thomas Paine was a pain in the butt. But anyway, his book, The Age of Reason, is tied to the Georgia Guidestones, which was erected in 1980.
1980, yes.
And like you read before, it was like these people were prophesying the end of the world in 2012, and when the apocalypse happened, then people could go to this Guidestone and learn how to rebuild humanity type of thing. Of course, that didn't happen, but it's all very New Agey. It's all mockery of God, and it's very occultic, but it lays out what the plan is, what they'd like to do. They're not doing a very good job on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But they're trying.
But I do think it's interesting how Marcos, his teachings, are very much aligned with this. And see, we don't talk to him about what we're going to be talking about. And so he does his own thing, And so it's interesting that the messages are the same.
Well, that's because he's been seeing socialism and the globalists and stuff well before we ever saw it. And he's been looking at this stuff a long time. In fact, we learned quite a bit from him.
Yeah, we did.
But he's been seeing the global picture for a long time, and actually living in a country that was socialist, that is socialist, and it makes a big difference, in their view and stuff like that. But you're right,
but I just think that the Spirit of God is telling us something.
Yeah, about this stuff. You got to know who these enemies are and what their agendas are, so you don't fall for this nonsense. Start thinking green and sustainable energy, and you fall for all the nonsense. The political correctness, and you can't call them Syrian refugees. You can't call them,
and that there really is a plan to destroy not only America but the world.
To bring it all under subjection.
The Word of God. Ultimately, that's the very...
And that's what Thomas Paine was trying to do way back in the 1700s. Get people to quit believing in the silly religion called Christianity. Some of these quotes are absolutely unbelievable.
And he's doing the work of his father, the devil. That's the bottom line, really.
Yeah, really is. Crazy. Hey, that was a good little talk, because now we're at 44 minutes.
Well, there you have it.
There you have it. You got your money's worth. Pow Pow Radio. God, is it Pow Pow?
No, it's Kapow. Kapow.
You have a memory of it, Kapow.
Yes,
but
I know that I know that I know. It's Kapow Radio Show.
I dug up some old archives that were under the bed. Old
They
archives.
all say Pow Pow?
They all say Pow Pow.
Oh.
By Jerry and Elaine. It's weird.
You're weird.
It's weird. CERN is just doing weird things. It's frying my brain.
Ciao, baby.
Good night.